the Ministry of Jobs, Economic Development and Innovation for their efforts in arranging this information session today. And I would also like to thank today's presenters for taking the time to provide information to small businesses. Our first presenter will be Laurie Camiri from she is the Executive Director of the Community Futures Alberni Clayoquot, who will be providing an overview of Community Future services and financial support programs. And next we will hear from Ron Orkos from the Nuu-Chel-Nuth Economic Development Corporation, and finally from Brady Calancy, who is the Regional Business Advisor for Community Futures Central Island. Again, following the presentations, we will provide an opportunity to ask questions with the remaining time. And with all that being said, I will turn it over to Laurie to begin her presentation. Welcome, Laurie.
Thank you very much, Karen. Excuse me. As Karen indicated, my name is Laurie Camiri. I am the Executive Director of Community Futures Alberni Clayoquot. Our region covers Port Alberni, Ucluelet, Tofino, and Bamfield. For those of you who aren't familiar with Community Futures, we're a network of 267 offices. We're not-for-profit organizations across Canada. We provide financing advice to rural and remote small and medium-sized businesses. We've been in operation since 1986. Today we are here because of the highway foreclosures at Cameron Bluff, but for small business owners, we recognize for many of you, you're coming up on 6 years of events that have stressed your operations and revenue generation capability. We go back to 2018 when Highway 4 repairs at Kennedy Hill between Port Alberni and the West Coast began, followed by the pandemic in March 2020, and then more recently, interest rate and minimum wage increases. Now a looming recession and economic impacts such as labor shortages, supply chain issues, along with potential water shortages will be impacting some of you. All of this, of course, with many also needing to think about the impending payments for their CEBA or the Regional Rural Relief and Recovery Funds that will be starting to become due for some of the business owners around the table today. Community Futures recognizes that the compounding effects of these significant impacts is taking its toll on many of our local businesses, and we may be able to assist you in a couple of ways. First, it would be the assisting in financial needs. These are best dealt with privately and individually, and if this is your concern, I suggest that you contact our office. You can use the phone number 250-724-1241 or email me directly at Laurie, L-O-R-I, at cfac.ca if financing is your concern. Assisting with providing consulting and coaches at no charge is also available to you to deal with issues specific to your business. It can range from just about anything you can think about: marketing, accounting, planning, pivoting your business, legal, human resources, market growth strategy. And really, if you've had enough of being a business owner, you can even talk to us about how you might want to get out of your business. I encourage you to contact me again if you want to speak with any of the consultants. You can email me at Laurie, L-O-R-I, at cfac.ca. I will do the triage. I have very competent staff at the office that will take it from there, but we'd like to see the volume of inquiries coming in, and happy to take those inquiries as they come in, help you support your businesses. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Laurie, much appreciated. We'll move on to Ron, and then also Brady, and then we'll move to questions. So Ron.
Yeah, thank you very much. Just to confirm what Laurie was saying about the community futures, NEDC is also a community future, where Port Alberni is quite distinct in that there's two community futures in one community. We focus strictly on the Indigenous market. That's whom we serve. We're also a Aboriginal financial institution, so we get multiple funds to disperse. I see some of the names of the people sitting in, and I recognize some clients. NEDC tries to work very closely with clients. The impact of all these economic stresses, we endeavor to work one-on-one with clients as they come up, and when we have to, we can work out deferments and things like that. Our service range is quite large. We provide all sorts of funding. We also do loans, and we can get funding to hire consultants for qualified for individuals. I should expand on the Indigenous market. That would be the First Nations, their businesses, and then for the Indigenous entrepreneurs who are looking to open or expand their businesses. And Indigenous would be status individuals, Métis individuals with their membership cards, or Inuit. There we are.
Thank you, Ron. And we'll move on to our last speaker, which is Brady.
Thank you very much. Thank you to the ACRD for hosting this and giving us the opportunity to talk about the services we provide. I'm just going to pop up a quick presentation here. There we go. So I'm here. My name is Brady Clancy. I'm here to talk about the Rural Advisory Program. It's funded through Island Coastal Economic Trust, or also known as ICE-T. Just to preface this, I don't work for ICE-T. I'm an independent contractor that provides services through this program. So I'm going to skip over the background on who ICE-T is and where the funding's coming from, because there are better people to talk about that than me. And I'll dive into what the program is. So the Rural Advisory Program has been designed to support forestry-reliant communities so they adapt to the changes resulting from the new forest management system. The program will support rural businesses and communities impacted by forest policy changes and other impacts to the forest sector, increase community and regional adaptation, resilience, and sustainability, and leverage existing local community organizations to create incremental supports to impacted businesses and/or communities. And really, this talks about forestry businesses and forestry reliant communities, but the intent of the program is to help those businesses that could have or are being affected by the changes to the forestry policy. So we know as forestry reliant communities, or traditionally forestry reliant communities, that if a mill goes down or if something like that happens, it's not just the mill that's affected. It's all those employees who are spending their money, all the restaurants, all those tertiary companies that get affected by it as well. So this program was created to support all businesses that could be affected by the forestry changes on the island. The program is available from June 1st, 2023 until August 31st, 2024, so just over 12 months, and there's no fees associated with participating. So if you want to be a part of this program, it doesn't cost you anything. It's all funded through tax dollars through Island Coastal Economic Trust. So the program itself is essentially Island Coastal Economic Trust funded 15 community business advisors and 4 regional business advisors. So I'll get into what those are and how they're going to be operating independently of each other. So the community business advisor, all 15 of them have been hired by municipalities or villages across the island to work on different strategic things that have been identified by those communities. So Port Alberni's community business advisor has been hired to support small and medium-sized enterprises to ensure local businesses and community organizations are taking advantage of available funding opportunities while creating online presence and e-commerce platforms. This position will work on advancing economic diversification efforts identified by Port Alberni's City Council's corporate strategic plan, including working with blue economy businesses and placemaking initiatives. So there are several things that the community business advisor in Port Alberni will be working on. They'll be working directly with businesses. They're going to be doing surveys to understand what the main pain points are for the businesses around the community. So you as a business owner will be hearing from them. They're going to be working on a couple of other initiatives as well. And the community business advisor has been hired as an partnership between the City of Port Alberni. Pat Deacon was instrumental in that, as well as Community Futures Alberni. Lori helped on that end. So there's partnerships that are going on to be able to support this new position in the community to help businesses. So outside of the community business advisor, which is really focused on Port Alberni, there are the regional business advisors. So 4 of them are being hired across the island. Myself and my colleague are the 2 who have been hired to work directly with businesses. The other 2 regional business advisors are being brought on to work on specific specific Indigenous causes. So working with Indigenous communities and Indigenous economic development to further that. So we, as the regional business advisors for general business on the island, our mandate is to work with entrepreneurs and local businesses across the mid-northern Vancouver Island, including the regional district of Alberni-Clayoquot, to provide no-cost management consulting services. This includes advice on how to increase and diversify revenue streams, coaching business owners on how to prepare for a business loan, and guidance on business strategies. We also provide one-on-one advisory and capacity building services to those 15 community business advisors. So essentially, a lot of words there to break down the fact that we are here as no charge consultants to help you with your business. How do we help? This is a very wordy slide, but a lot of people haven't worked with a consultant in the past or haven't worked with an advisor or a business coach in the past and don't know really what they are here to do. So this just kind of breaks down some of the things that a business advisor can assist you with. I won't read all of it, but I'll touch on some of the key ones, such as business planning. It's always important to have a plan, especially when things are starting to get complicated, like with the Cameron Bluffs fire and the road shutdowns. Having a 5-year plan is important to figure out what your goals are and how to get there. Financial analysis, we can provide assistance with that. Marketing, operational efficiency, this is becoming more and more important for businesses as labor issues are increasing. How do we automate things? How do we work leaner than we were before? We can assist with that stuff. Risk management, this is what has brought us all here right now is some of the issues that are going on. How do we deal with when wind shuts down the road? We're already dealing with single lane alternating traffic. How do we deal with all these situations, and what can we do to plan for upcoming ones that could happen? Legal compliance, if you want to move from a sole proprietorship to a corporation or anything along those lines, we can help. HR, financial planning, pathfinding is a big one. Pathfinding is just a general word saying that if there are other programs that could help you, we would help you get there. For example, the Export Navigator program, which I'm a part of and is hosted through Laurie's Community Futures, is for businesses who are looking to export, and you can get free support to learn how to do that. Seafood Business Accelerator is to help seafood businesses, and it's hosted by the Center of Seafood Innovation out of Bowser. So there are a lot of programs out there that can help businesses, and it's our job as advisors to help figure out which are the best fit for you. Then finally, finding capital, like Laurie touched on. There are loans, there are grants, there are things that are out there that might be able to support you, and we're there to help you find those as well. Some examples are the BC Employer Training Grant, which is a great one to get employees trained. There are wage subsidies out there, and we're there to help you find it and help you figure out how to fill out those applications. We are not CPAs and we are not lawyers, so we cannot provide binding legal or accounting advice. And as such, if it gets to a situation where you need that, we can provide referrals and recommend that you speak to an accountant or a lawyer at that point. So who are we? The regional business advisors, myself and Kat, who are supporting businesses from the Malahat to the north of the island. We're hosted through Community Futures Central Island. They're counterpart to Community Futures Alberni. They hold our contracts where we provide the service. Kat has 27 years of experience in operations management, human resources, and change management, both as a business owner and employee. Myself, my background is in industrial robotics. I owned a robotics company. I owned a small batch ice cream company. I've been consulting for a number of years now on various programs that help lower the bar to entrepreneurship. I do a lot of work with Community Futures Alberni, and can attest that the consultants that Laurie has at her that work with her are great people. So what is the process to work with regional business advisors such as myself or Kat? You submit an application on the Community Futures Central Island or Community Futures Nanaimo website under the advisory section. There are applications that you can fill out. The application is then received and reviewed by the team at Community Futures Central Island. We figure out which advisor would work best for you, whether it's Kat or myself, depending on our background and our skill set and your business. You could also request to work with either one of us if you're interested in working with someone specific. Once it's forwarded to us, we reach out to you for the initial interview. We have a template that we go through to ask questions and figure out kind of your goals, your strengths, what you're struggling with, and we start to create a plan. And finally, that's where, you know, we start working together. It's all based around your schedule. There's no curriculum. There's no steps you have to go through. We don't force you to talk to us for 3 hours every day. It's all based around your business, your needs, your requirements, your schedule. The only requirement to being in the program is that you continue to stay engaged. So if you just disappear for a month and we haven't heard from you and you haven't touched in, you may be moved out of the program. But just checking in and staying on top of things keeps everything moving properly. So with that, that's my short presentation on the program. I know I covered a lot of information. There's everything I talked about is on the Community Futures Central Island website under the advisory section, as well as I'm open to being reached out after this call as well if you want to just talk about it ahead of figuring out if it's right for you or not. Thank you.
Thank you, Brady. Much appreciated. And so thank you to Ron and Laurie and Brady for your presentations. We've intentionally left a lot of time left in the session for questions and answers. So we wanted to open this up to everybody online right now. And just before I do so, just a quick reminder, we have about 40 minutes for questions before the 1 o'clock. And you can ask questions by using the raise the hand feature, or you can simply turn on your camera and raise your hand or use the chat. We ask all participants to communicate in a respectful manner and to please try to focus your questions on the agenda items only. Any questions outside of the scope will be added to the parking lot, and we're happy to answer them offline or at a different meeting. So I will open it up to everyone here today and give you an opportunity to ask any questions that we can help you with.
I see Laura McDonald has her hand up.
Go ahead. Oh, there you are.
Oh, hi. Thank you so much. Sorry, I'm not seeing where I can get my camera on. So I guess I was just kind of wondering if you guys have like testimonials or like stories of like, you know, the kind of work that you're doing. I know the entrepreneurs on the West Coast are all like pretty suave or like savvy, I should say. And so, you know, I like a lot of them are very involved in their business. They really understand it. And so I don't know, yeah, just if there was any examples of any success stories or anything like that that you can share with the group.
Thank you, Laura, for your question. Much appreciated. Laurie, I can start with you if you do have any testimonials you'd like to share.
I wasn't prepared for testimonials today, but when it comes to the consulting hive, we started with the consulting services through the pandemic. We've been running that pretty much nonstop. We have 20 consultants that range from everything. And you know, Brady indicated that they don't take on the legal and accounting. These are actual lawyers and accountants that we have on our consulting team, and actual marketers and all that. And just the fact that we've been around in Community Futures since 1986 in the Port Alberni area, I think bodes well. We have one of the largest loan portfolios in the Community Futures network in British Columbia. And we have a very successful loan portfolio as well.
Thank you. And I just want to give an opportunity to Ron and Brady to respond if you'd like.
I will jump in. Again, talk really about specifics because it's really different for each business, and obviously non-disclosure agreements come into play when anybody starts working with us. But one of the big things that comes with businesses who are already existing and have been in their business and they understand it is the access to what programs and funding and things might be out there that they aren't aware of. One of the things we come across very frequently is programs like the BC Employer Training Grant, which, you can get up to $10,000 per employee to get training for them. The majority of the businesses I speak with, whether they're a 30-year business or a 1-year business, don't know about it. On top of that, there's a lot of different wage subsidies. There's a lot of different, export related stuff. There's and more training stuff that's coming in with the new Stronger BC plans that are coming in. There's new funding that's coming out. So one of the first places we start for businesses that are well situated is figuring out how they can access some of these programs and grant funding that's already out there that they may not know about. We may not spend as much time focused on business planning and strategy or financial management, but usually there's something that we can provide that adds value.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Brady. The next person I see with their hand up is Naomi. Naomi, would you like to unmute yourself and ask your question?
Hello. Hi, Lori. It's nice to see you again. Just commenting on the consulting thing. I actually used to be a consultant for the Consulting Hive. And I got to work with people in their schedule for their business. And I can tell you I spent most of my time listening and they came up with their own solution. So as a previous consultant, I know I helped people. So I might actually connect with you, Lori, about that because I have a few people in town that I'm here watching this video on behalf of because we're all struggling. So some of our concerns are like, are we able to renegotiate debt down at a lower interest rate? Because taking on more money as a business owner isn't going to help me when we already are loaded with debt. So I see that there's options, but I guess my question to Lori and I don't know if Ron is still on, is will it hurt us coming to you? Because I actually don't want to go to my lender because I actually have to go and get another loan. But I don't want to go to my lender and say, hey, can you pause my loan payments or renegotiate? But I still need to get a loan from you. So I think there's a little bit of fear, and there's fear on my side to actually admit that I am struggling financially. And yeah, I'll go get another loan. But what are the interest rates going to be? Because that's how you guys, I feel, can help us. So that was just sort of my comment about the coaching, and then the comment about what kind of help can we actually get as business owners. Thank you.
Karen, I can take that one. Naomi, thanks for your comments. Our team at the office has been discussing this for the last couple of weeks. Taking on more debt for a lot of our small businesses is not a great option right now. As I mentioned earlier, we know that a lot of the businesses in the area have CEBA debts that will be coming due December, or the emergency fund through the Community Futures office is coming due in December. We want to, I think, first and foremost, and as I said earlier, we'll discuss things with individuals on an individual basis because every situation is unique. But can we be a little bit more creative with the return on investment for us? And I guess the small business community is a significant community for the Alberni-Clayoquot region. Demanding money when money is not there doesn't often serve us well. So we have to look at the long term, keeping businesses that can be viable through routine times. How can we manage that working together? So, and a conversation, Naomi, with us, probably with Ron's office too. These conversations about financing, good times or bad times, money is required for small businesses. So just always to check in and discuss the financing situation. Doesn't get charted anywhere. It doesn't go to the credit couriers or anything of that nature. So I think the wise business owners who recognize that they have financial limitations right now, who actually pick up the phone and want to have a conversation, are very respected.
Thank you, Lori. And Ron, and Brady, you're welcome to add any more information if you'd like. At this time, I don't see any more hands. We still do have half an hour in this session. Oh, there we go. I see some hands pop up now. Bill, I see your hand. Would you like to ask your question?
Hi there. Well, this isn't reason self-promotion, but I thought I'd put this out there just to, Brady mentioned, first of all, I'm Bill Brown. I'm the manager of employer services at Work BC Port Alberni. And of course, I'm located in Port Alberni on the unceded and traditional lands of Shuswap and Hoopachasset territory. We also have offices in Ucluelet and Tofino. So we serve roughly the same area as the ACRD is. And Brady had mentioned wage subsidies, and that's something that we can provide for employers who are struggling. During the pandemic, the government really opened up eligibilities and the whole application process for wage subsidies, and we've really been helping a lot of businesses out already. At one point, the high point in May, we had 50 current wage subsidies running at the same time, and there's eligibility factors and so on that are attached to it. I don't want to go through all those now, but just to say that there is some help out there, and if you've had wage subsidies or heard about how they worked in the old days, it's greatly improved, and I think you might find it really helpful. So you can contact Work BC Port Alberni. Our business name is Alberni Valley Employment Center, and you've probably seen our job postings, and you can contact me through there, or you can just give me a call here. It's Bill Brown, 250-724-4560, and just ask for Bill, and I'll help you out in whatever way I can. Thanks.
Thank you, Bill. That was very helpful. Thank you for jumping in there. I just want to remind everybody, I don't know if you can see it in your chat there, we've put in some contact information, so you're welcome to look there, and we have our speakers information in there, so you're welcome to follow up with them after this session. And also we've added, just to bring your attention, we've added the ACRD website. There's a link there that will bring you to different programs and details of some of the folks who are on the call today. And so you can check there. And if you're looking for more information, you can always reach out to the ACRD directly, and we will put you into contact with somebody who may be able to help you with further details.
Karen, Lori,
Go ahead, Lori.
Mina, our lender, is also on the call today, and I would like to give her email address for people who want specifically to talk about their existing loan with us, or if people don't have a loan with us, about financing through Community Futures. So if I can give Mina's email address to you too, we just removes one step, it gets straight to the lender. And her email address is meena@cfac.ca.
And thank you. And that's what we're trying to accomplish here today, is make connections for folks so that they can follow up with the people who have further details and information. So I really appreciate you sharing Mina's contact information. Lori, thank you so much. We have 30 minutes more, and we're happy to take more questions, or if you have comments on future information that you'd like to see, please let us know. Lewis, I see that you have a comment or question. Please go ahead.
It's not a question, it's a comment. My name is Lewis George. I'm the president of the House of Himwitsa Limited here in Tofino. And I also kind of wear two hats. I work with the hereditary chiefs of a house that we just opened up a new business, Aarhus Adventures, this summer. We've been hit by the pandemic. We've been hit by the road closures. We've been hit by the Kennedy Lake upgrade. And, you know, one of the things that could really help us here is tax breaks from the government. You know, my business It sits not on a village. It sits. I'm on fee simple land, so I do pay my taxes just like everybody else. And I think that I hear so much in the news. Listen to the news, and people are getting tax breaks, and I think that we shouldn't be any different. The other thing is the road closures. You know, where the government not too long ago was talking about paving the road to Bamfield, and I really think that's. And I heard just on the news they were doing upgrades and that, but we're really keen to see that the pavement of the highway right to Bamfield, because if this should ever happen again, that would cut the travel down. We have clients that stay with us. I also I have 5 rooms here, and in Tofino all the cancellations that we've had with people that can't make it. We had clients stuck in the queue for right till 5 o'clock in the morning. They didn't get through till 12:30. So I think there's other areas of help that can be put out there. I know there's a lot of grants out there, but filling out the grants is just it's a really long task. Some of the grants that I applied for, I had an accountant help me, and he had a hard time with it. So filling out grants is a really, you know, there's a lot of grants out there. I know that, but filling them out is you know, if an accountant is having trouble filling out a grant, just, you know, those grants got to be. I know that they have to be really, really careful about what they're doing with the money and that, but it's really difficult to fill out these. I tried. I really tried, and there was over 90 questions that had to be filled out. I did get the grant, by the way, but and it really helped. It was $10,000, but there's a lot of grants out there, and I think that those it needs to be shared just exactly to the businesses here on the West Coast. Is you know. I know there's grant writers out there, but more communication to the grants, how it could be, you know, with possible newsletters coming out from wherever and emails, you know, sending emails out to chambers of commerce to get the information out to us as to where we could look and apply for grants to help us out, because we've really been hit here in Tofino. It's really. You know, the town usually is really right full, and it hasn't been since the road closures. So we're needing to do some things outside the box here to assist with tourism, because that tourism for us, that's my bread and butter and everybody else's bread and butter. And I think it's so important that communications. And I thank the 3 people. Ron Arcos, I know him very well. He's I've worked with him. We've gotten a loan for our business from NEDC. So I just wanted to put it out there. I didn't really have any questions, but just wanted to thank you guys for giving the information. I've written it down, and we'll be able to view this at a later date. My wife couldn't be watching this stream, so down the way she's going to have a look at it. But that's all I have. Thanks.
Thank you, Louis. I really appreciate your comments, and just encourage other people. If you don't have a question but you have a comment, please feel free to put up your hand. That's more than welcome, especially as it may identify some future topics for future meetings. So that's more than welcome. I'll just give an opportunity to our speakers. Louis mentioned a lot about grants. I'll just give an opportunity to our speakers to reply with any information.
I think, you know, everything Louis talked about is something that everyone who tries to get grant funding experiences. 1, they're hard to find. 2, they're hard to get. And three, they don't always fit the needs of the businesses, whereas something like tax breaks might be more targeted to those who are struggling on the coast. But I just want to say that's where we're trying to help support with through the Rural Advisory Program, is finding them, giving tips on how to fill them out. If you don't have the time to fill them out, connecting you to grant writers who we know are good, who we trust, that can help support people with that. So, I think in the short term, we don't really have a way of making it easier on businesses, at least at the level that we're at, but we're here to try and help you wade through all the noise to figure out exactly what you need to be able to get that. So that's where a consultant or advisor should be able to help a bit.
Thank you, Brady. Very informative. Pat Deacon, I see your hand raised.
Thank you, Karen. And first off, I want to start with a thanks to the regional district for hosting this series of meetings. I think it's going to be very valuable. Three comments. One is that in my role as economic development manager for the city of Port Alberni, I have referred people to each of Community Futures, Alberni Clayoquot, NADC, and Export Navigator, a program that assists businesses and entrepreneurs have come back to me in every instance and said that was very helpful. Second thing I'd like to say, that in a previous iteration of the community-based advisor positions, we were our small business support specialists were successful in helping businesses recover about $400,000 in largely in grants and some in loans. And we do recognize the impact of loans coming due. So as Laurie said, we have been giving thought to that. I think the last comment to make is before saying hats off again to the entrepreneurs for managing these incredibly tricky times, is that municipalities are prevented from giving specific assistance to specific businesses. The Local Government Act and the Community Charter prevent us from giving tax breaks. There are sometimes ways that we can manage assistance to a class of businesses, but that and while that has been helpful to some, I don't think it's had the impact that we would like to have seen. So we've pivoted to things like the facade improvement program that we ran in concert with Community Futures for 7 years. And there are other programs, and we are looking and, very, very concerned about the situation that entrepreneurs find themselves in. So very grateful for everything that everyone on this series is doing to help out. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. I appreciate your comments. Next, I see Naomi, you have your hand up. Please feel free to unmute and ask your questions or make your comment.
Well, I guess it's a little bit of a comment and a question and some education. So Indigenous people who live on the reserve are not a part of Port Alberni. and I run into jurisdictional problems that I am not eligible for help and money, but my address is Port Alberni, and I am required to collect federal and provincial and now MRDT taxes, but I can't get help because I don't live in Port Alberni. So I don't want to be forgotten, but people might not know. So I'm not throwing shade at anybody. This is an educational statement that while Ed and I are considered a good pride point on the highway, we're not eligible for things either. So there's a lot of misinformation about Indigenous people on reserve. And guess what? I can't even go to my bank and go and get an equity loan because our house is worth $0. So my footing and ability to compete, to even be able to get money, yes, ITAC has given me some money. I've been able to get some money from ITBC, but that doesn't mean I'm even on an equitable foot to every single person off the reserve. So when we start talking about how we can think out of the box, I'm mainly talking for myself as an Indigenous person, but Indigenous spend a lot of money in town. And so just because my address doesn't say Port Alberni, even though it says Port Alberni, myself and all Indigenous really need to be included in this because we spend a lot of money in this town. And the businesses that are getting these grants, they're being supported by Indigenous people. But unfortunately, I can't get access to that facade grant. I was told no, because I don't live in Port Alberni, and this is for Port Alberni only. So I don't know how else you guys can help me and other Indigenous entrepreneurs, the spirit of reconciliation and everything that's happening. But I just wanted to bring that point up so that people don't think that I'm having a very easy time getting grants like Lewis. It gets too overwhelming, and I understand that they need that. However, I feel like some of the people on this call have the ability to do different things just to help us, because even an interest rate reduction on a loan payment would help. But yes, that's all I wanted to just sort of bring up as an educational piece. Thank you. And I appreciate everything you're doing and hosting this meeting.
Thank you, Naomi. I appreciate the comments. I do see folks writing information down, and I believe your comments have been noted. I'll just open it up to our speakers if they have anything that they'd like to reply with. This is an opportunity to do so. And then Naomi, I would just say that please to reach out directly with the folks who've added their contact information just to talk specifically about your concern, and thank you for bringing it to light.
I don't see anything in the chat box, by the way. When I click on chat, it tells me that it's been disabled. So if you guys are putting anything in there, I don't see it.
Okay, Kathy, do you have any insight into why that would be? Okay, I can see Kathy looking. She's muted right now, but I can see her looking. Naomi, if we aren't able to resolve that issue by the end of the meeting, we will reach out to you with the contact information.
This is Denise from Tourism Ucluelet. I'm in the same boat. So, and my camera is actually also disabled. So if there would be some way of just sending out along with the recording, just the contact information to everybody that registered, I think that would just be really helpful, because I've been on the call the whole time, but I'm unable to participate other than through my microphone.
Sorry about that. When I was invited everyone to upgrade, that gives the people the ability to have more things. But if you chose not to upgrade to be a panelist, you're able to chat. And unfortunately, that's it. That seems to be what's happening. I can definitely send some upgrades here to everybody again if they just want to upgrade in, and I think they'll be able to see everything. But I'll definitely look at the settings. Sorry about that, everyone.
It's okay.
Perfect. Thank you, Kathy. We'll work on that on the back end. And just to remind you all, if you go to the ACRD website under emergency services, there's a business continuity tab that has all the contact information of the folks that were here today as well. So we will work on getting the chat up for you, but that's also another way to find the information also. And we have just over 10 minutes left in our session today. And so we still have lots of times for a few more comments and questions if you have any.
Hello, hi. I just wanted to just clarify one thing, just so everybody that's watching understands. Like, so Brady, even though that your funding was started for businesses impacted by forestry, that doesn't mean it's just contained to businesses that were impacted by forestry, correct? Yeah. That's why I wanted to make sure everybody understood that any small business, even tourism related or whatever, would still be able to utilize your services and your funding. And and then the PDF that you were showing everybody, that's available on the website, or is that something that can be shared with us all? Or
the PowerPoint that I created.
Oh, it's a PowerPoint. Okay,
yeah. We could probably convert it to a PDF and have it posted, so that people can access it. If not, there will be a link that leads to a website where I just pulled all the information off from the program website. So
I just want to be able to send out an email to everybody, all our contacts and stuff with that information. So
for sure, yeah. We'll figure that out. On the forestry side, in theory, if we got a huge influx of forestry direct businesses, we would have to focus on them first. But we don't see that happening. So it's open to all businesses north of the Malahat, because all Vancouver Island communities are affected in some way by the new forestry policies. So any business, any industry, as long as you are not an early startup. So you need to be a business, you need to be an operation. It can't be pre-commercialization or anything like that. So for this program specifically, the business needs to be in operation and feeling the effects of what's going on.
That's perfect. Thanks. Yeah. That's all I had here.
Thank you, Josh. I appreciate the clarification on that. I see Roland's hand up. Roland, please feel free to unmute and ask your question or make your comment.
Hi, I just want to say, in that situation where we're in, where it does feel like a crisis, and seeing the numbers quickly declining and number of sales in my business is affecting me. And I just wanted to say I really appreciate this meeting and seeing that there's a lot of people concerned, in a government kind of aspect. So I just wanted to say it's very appreciated, and I'm glad I joined. So I just want to say I'm going to have to leave soon, and I just want to say thank you.
Well, you're more than welcome, Roland. I'm glad you could be here today. There are a number of folks, as you say, who've been concerned. We recognize that small businesses have had a number of challenges over the years. And the intention of today is to make connections for people to try to offer support. So please, I hope that you're feeling that today, and we encourage you to reach out to any of the speakers, or like I say, you can reach out to the ACRD and we can try to make some connections for you as well. And if there's any topics that you would like to see future sessions on, please share as well, and we'd be happy to look at that. We have 9 minutes left in the session, so we definitely have more time for more questions. If anyone has any more questions, please feel free to raise your hand or just turn your video on and start talking. That will be fine too. Well, it may be that everyone has asked their questions. I'll give you another moment just to have any other thoughts or comments. And then I'll turn it one more time to our speakers have offered a lot of information, but I'll just close by giving anyone an opportunity to speak before we leave today.
Karen, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for setting this up.
You're most welcome. Okay, it looks like I don't see any more hands raised. So I just want to thank you all for coming today. We have taken notes on some of the comments that were made, and we will definitely be looking towards other ways that we can support the small business community. So thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to the next time. Thank you.